So, you want to know about instant IELTS? You've come to the right place. Okay, IELTS is a testing examination to test your proficiency in English. And these tests are designed for non-native speakers. And what we try to determine from IELTS is that are you able to communicate effectively, understand and comprehend effectively for your university degree in English. The best score is 100%, of course. And if you can get 100%, fantastic. But normally the range here would be at least a 6.5. And anything a little bit lower than that, you will struggle with your university course in English. But I would suggest that a minimum of 6.5. The essential parts of IELTS are 4 parts. One is your speaking exam, listening, reading, and writing. From my experience, our students do have problems with speaking and writing. And speaking is certainly the part that is quite difficult because many of our students do not have many native speakers to speak to. Also, it is a problem here that a lot of the instruction is not given in clear speech in English. My advice is that you really need to know yourself very, very well. Now, essentially, know details about yourself. What you like to do, where do you like to go, what is it about you that makes you absolutely unique, and also what are your aspirations in life. Now, many of the students who start an IELTS course with me, the first thing that I like them to do is to be able to write about themselves. Write a very, very detailed essay about where they've come from, what experiences they've experienced, and create a story about themselves. Who knows you better than you? And you need to know yourself very, very well. But you need to be able to do this in English because we are creating a picture in somebody else's mind. Now, many of you will think that, oh yes, when we are speaking we're using words. But we're not really using words. We are actually using images or pictures in our speech. Okay, so let me give you an example. In my hand I have a lemon. Okay. What size would you say this lemon is?
Large.
Large? It's a large lemon. Okay, it's a large lemon in my hand. What color is this lemon?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay? It's a large yellow lemon. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this large yellow lemon on this table. In my hand I have a knife. Then I am going to cut this large yellow lemon in half. Okay, I have 2 halves of a lemon. Can you smell the aroma? What does it smell like to you?
Sour.
Sour smell. Yes. And if I squeeze it, yes, you can see the juice. The juice is also kind of sour. Okay. Now, many of my students start to see this example and they start to salivate in their mouths. Okay. Now, do I have a lemon in my hand? Absolutely not. Did I cut the big yellow lemon? I didn't. I only pretended to. But yet, you felt the effect. So, if we are speaking to a student, the student needs to be able to project images in words in English to the examiner about their experience, so that the examiner has the same idea of what you are trying to describe. So for instance, if I am describe the traffic in Almaty. The traffic in Almaty is quite unique. You have 3 lanes marked out for cars, but in Almaty you can get 5 cars in 3 lanes because the drivers here are fantastic. They can take the biggest Land Cruisers, Lexus and Hummers, and they can put 5 big cars in 3 lanes with only 2 centimeters or maybe 1 centimeter on each side. And they can drive down the streets like this and not hit each other. It's absolutely amazing. Where else in the world can you see such wonderful drivers? Okay. So, your experience is very, very important to create that image about your life, about you and what you do. So for instance, if an examiner asks you, well, tell me, what do you do on a typical day? I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's still early. It's not even light yet. The first thing I do is when I get out of bed is I take a shower for about 20 minutes. The next thing I do is I have breakfast. Usually it's muesli with some milk and a nice cup of tea with some milk and sugar, and after that I'm ready for my day. I get into my car, I travel for about 45 minutes, 3 kilometers, because we have huge traffic jams in Almaty, and then I get to work. At work, the first thing I do is I turn on my computer, I see what kind of work I need to do, then I plan my day. At 12 o'clock, it's time for lunch. I normally go to the park for lunch, and then after I have lunch, it's time to go back to work at 2 o'clock. From 2 until 4, I work until 4:30 is when I get into my car and I head back home to relax. Okay, details are important. Things that you do in your day are vitally important. You need to be able to tell the examiner all these fine details, because the examiner then understands clearly your picture. They understand that your speech is clear. They also understand that you won't have a problem in English, and therefore you should pass the speaking exam with at least a minimum of 6.5. When you are speaking to the examiner, I would like you to speak very, very clearly, deliberately, so that the examiner can hear that you are speaking with clear and natural speech. But don't slow your speech down to so slow that the examiner will start to fall asleep. No, not at all. Keep your speech natural, keep it at a steady, rhythmic pace, and use clear, descriptive words to help you create and project that image to the examiner. Now, the advantage that you have when you are speaking to an examiner is that you can animate and you can use your facial expression to show happiness, shock, horror, disgust. You can also use to show sad events, lowering your eyes. But when you are speaking to the examiner, please, it's part of English culture. Look at your examiner, because your examiner will feel comfortable if you are looking and speaking to your examiner, because that shows in English culture trust. I can trust you. When you look in somebody's eyes, that means you can trust them. You don't go to the examiner saying, "Hello, my name is Murat, and I want to pass this IELTS exam. And please, give me 6.5 on the exam. Is that examiner going to believe you? Absolutely not. Look at the examiner. Be personable. Be animated. Use your face, use your eyes, use your smile. Because this is how you will pass this exam. And it's only 15 minutes of your life. So do this well, do this with enthusiasm, and you will get the score that you need. And thank you very much for coming to my office today. And I hope you do very, very well on this exam. Goodbye.